Till now in the Indian education system, there is no parameter to find the effectiveness of the teachers in teaching any subject, till now. But here I'm coming up with something new idea. Now see, this is the case. The parameter to find the effectiveness of the teacher is not how well the teacher teach the students, but how much or how well the student have learned from the teachers. You got my point? See, so that's why I'm just going a little bit sidetrack. We make sure that, we must be sure that what is the most important is this, that what is the outcome of you and my teaching technique, the outcome. You may say very well, you may prepare the lesson plan very well, you may have a wonderful English pronunciation, you may be a kind of body gesture and all this thing, the way you treat your students, the way you prepare notes may be excellent, but that is not the parameter to know the effectiveness of the teacher. It is the outcome of the students. How much your students have learned, how well your students have learned from you. That is what is the most important. So there are 5 questions. Now, I'll have to say, let me pick up out of this 5, question number 2. Now this question number 2, let me start. I have to explain this. Now, I'm repeating here again, I must teach the students how this problem number 2 is solved. I must teach the students how this problem number 2 and the rest remaining problem, there are 4 problems, can be solved by themselves. Okay. Now right after this, after that is done here, the student will be allowed to solve the remaining problem themselves. Okay. Here, I'll have to give them even this opportunity for every student to do this. Now, if and every answer that the students made will have to be checked by the concerned teacher. Every answer by any student, and every student should do it. Now, in case some of the students fails to solve the problem themselves, then they can ask their friends around, not necessarily the concerned teacher. Now, in case if none of them could solve it, then I'll have to go to the board and then teach everyone. Now this, while doing this, here especially this mathematics teacher, what I want to say is this. Calculating part, it has to be left to the students. Do not do the calculating parts, you as a teacher. You have to let the students do it. When I say I'm on the board, now when the calculation part, me as a teacher, I have to ask the students, what is the multiplication of such number to such number, addition of this and that, division of this and that to this, and let them answer the thing. And then accordingly, after they respond correctly only, I must know the answer, of course, as a teacher, but make sure that the students know the answer themselves. This is a very important practice. After this, the students will be even allowed to give go for the HOTS, that is high order thinking skills numerical problems. Okay. Now after that is done here, then what I usually do is that I'll let them prepare a portfolio. Portfolio is something like, I don't know whether you have heard about this or not. Okay, portfolio is nothing but is the collection of the documents. All this chapter, say chapter 1, okay, so say there are 4 exercises there. Okay, 1.1, 1.2 up to 1.4. Okay, once that one is completed, the students will write all the questions and answer, okay, in the transparent file and put it there and then submit to the concerned teacher, and the teacher has to check that one. Okay, fine. Now that's about, let me just cut short there. That's about the transaction of this textual lessons. Okay, now let me give you some idea about the outcome here. In this strategy, every student participate. Okay, participate. Every student. In this strategy, slow learners are identified. Very easily identified. And there and then remedial steps are taken accordingly here. And in this method, in this strategy, the students become very interactive. Very interactive. So whenever I take class, okay, you know, a lot of noise is there. Lot of noise, because I make sure that these students, they interact among them, so they learn from one another. Okay, the student who have solved the problem, when he or she teaches another student who have failed to understand the problem, solve the problems, okay, then there is a major benefit to the one who shared and the one who also received. There is a major benefit. So in my case, you know, the students become very interactive. Okay, and there is one outcome here which I want to mention in my strategy. The students, this has happened to me, okay. The students started, you know, like attempting the problem of the new chapter ahead of the ongoing. This has happened. My strategy. For some chapter, we don't have to teach them anything. I have proved this, that once we teach the student how to solve the problem themselves, then they will be in a position to attempt the problems of the new chapters ahead of the ongoing chapters. This will happen, and that is about the outcome. Okay, the most effective way of teaching is to apply both head and heart simultaneously. You know, when I say head, it's not so simple, okay? You have to think. To apply head means to apply up to one's best ability and not just give up when stuck somewhere. To apply heart means to have a willingness to learn new things sincerely. But here, I would like to give a comment here that if you as a teacher, you want to make your students learn by applying both head and heart, then you as the teacher must first teach your students with applying both head and heart. My teaching strategy is to realize the application of this constructivist approach. And here I want to say something, and this is from my experience. If you as a teacher, wants to make your students apply this constructivist approach in learning of mathematics, I, as a teacher, must first apply in teaching of mathematics. Otherwise, it's not possible. Even after you have finished this training program, B.Ed program, I want to tell you that you make sure that you see to it and find the main problem, of education in our state. Now, me as a teacher from Ukhrul district, I'd like to share some of my view. It may not be the same with all the district, but from my side, from my district, from Ukhrul district, I'd like to say the main problem, education problem in my district, Ukhrul, is, first thing is this, it's a system failure. It's a system failure. I have done some research on this. It is not the lack of infrastructure. It is not the lack of teachers. And when I say education, both, like government schools, I'm talking about both in government schools, government colleges, and there's private schools, private colleges, all included. It's a system failure. You know why? The first thing is this. The way we write. The teachers are supposed to teach the students how to write well and how to write fast. Means I'm talking about handwriting, okay? But some teachers, even if they know how to write, they don't want to teach the students. There are some teachers who really wants to teach the students, but they can't teach the students because they don't know cursive. I'm telling you, before this thing, 7 years back, I didn't know cursive. Do you know cursive? Everyone here? Make sure that everyone learns cursive, okay? Because this will have a huge impact, as I have said before, in the learning process. Good handwriting and fast handwriting. Now, why am I saying that it's a system failure? Because there is not a format. So far, there is no format for learning this cursive. Everything is printed. See? Every school will have different cursive here. But the teachers, they don't care about learning this. Because what is happening is this, that the system itself is wrong. The system of how to teach the student write well and how to write fast, the system is wrong. So it's one area where we have a system failure. The other case is teaching methodologies. You see, life is changing so fast. At our place, Ukhrul, as I've said, I'm particularly focusing on my district. The technique of the teaching, the current technique of teaching that the teachers are using are not relevant to the changing of time and circumstances. Outdated, okay? Outdated. So it's a system failure.